What's good, y'all, man? So it's time to react. South Carolina, Virginia Tech, man. Obviously, week one showdown. Now, look, y'all, I'm going to have more of these throughout the season. Like I said, it just was a busy day on Saturday, me being in a high school game. But I'm excited to react to this one, man. Let's break it all down. Now, first off, I want to say this. I like Shane Beamer as a coach. They got to clean up some things for sure. But this was a gritted out win, man. But shout out to the special teams. We'll talk about here in just a second. Offense did struggle a lot in this game, but I thought Lenore Sellers did a really good job and shined bright today. Now, the stats are not going to wow you. 209 yards passing, right? 24 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. It's not going to wow you. But what he did a good job of just managing the game. When things weren't there, he didn't force the ball into tight windows, right? He took what the defense gave him. He continued to hit on the balls when they were there. He, went down and obviously scrambled for first downs. He did what he was supposed to do. Offensive line has to do a better job of protecting him, though, because Virginia Tech was getting after him a lot in this game. So I want to see better play from them. And that relates to the running game as well. They should have ran for way more than 125 yards. But they were struggling to open up running lanes, especially early in the game. At one point in this game, they had 8 carries for 9 yards. That ain't going to get it done. Now, I don't think Oscar Adaway III is the problem. I don't think Razul Faison is the problem. I think they're going to figure it out. But the offensive line has to get more of a push, especially with this SEC action they got coming up and things like that. But nonetheless, only 125 yards, didn't have a 100-yard rusher. That has to be better. Sellers showed that he can still throw that football, be smart, not turn it over, and take what the defense gives and put them in good positions, which is why they won this game. Now, I want to talk about Nick Harbor just a little bit. I like Harbor a lot, and Harbor really showed in this game, like, he's just an elite specimen of an athlete. He just has to be able to bring down the catch. Now, look, I thought that was a catch. We need to get a better definition of that because he came down 2 feet, went to the ground, and that wasn't a touchdown. Like, he should have had easily 2 tubs in this game. We need to have better clarification, y'all. I don't care what nobody say on what a catch is and what a catch isn't. Is it complete the process through the ground or is it get 2 feet first? It got to be one or the other. It can't be both, bro. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me because he literally did 2 feet. Like, go watch it. 1, 2, that should have been over. Just because he didn't process the catch, it doesn't count. Makes no sense. But nonetheless, I wanted to just see a little bit more from him and being able to step up big for his team because they're going to need him. This is a young receiving core, and he's going to be the unquestioned leader. Now, Luke Doty obviously talked about him in a grave voice, and he could be, another Xavier Legette for this team, and I think he can too, but has to be better. Also, shout out to Brady Hunt. Those tight end dump offs, those shallow crosses, he took full advantage of that and really stepped up for them and being just a safety blanket, obviously, for Lenore Sellers. But like I said, the production has to be better. Donovan Murph, obviously 1 catch, 21 yards. Maurice Brown, 1 catch, 14 yards. Michael Smith, who's supposed to be a big-time target for them at the tight end spot this year, 1 catch, 7 yards. That just ain't going to get it done. So I want to see the Gamecocks be better there. Now, defensively, I want to see South Carolina be a little bit better. It was a good showing. When I say a little bit better, I just mean just their DBs a little bit. Now, credit Virginia Tech. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, Donovan Green and Aiden Green, they got something special there with Virginia Tech and their wide receivers. Like, they was making some plays in some tight windows. That's why I don't blame them too much. And they only allowed 11 points. But, they was making some plays against the DBs a little bit. And sometimes you got to just tip your cap. They're doing an outstanding job. They did what they were supposed to do. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Kyron Drones got to be better. Just speaking of Virginia Tech before we go back to South Carolina. That ain't gonna cut it, bro. And that's why he hasn't been getting a lot of buzz and a lot of talk about his name. It's probably gonna be his last year with the Hokies. 15 for 35, 2 interceptions. It's just not gonna get it done. And he also, was struggling, throwing the football effectively, and he was getting a lot of pressure on him as well. So credit that South Carolina front. I did an article talking about will this defensive line be the same, and they looked pretty dang formidable in this game, especially Dylan Stewart. Dylan Stewart put on the show, man. Like, he finished with 7 tackles. He had a sack, 1.5 tackles for loss. He did everything that he was supposed to do in order to help his team win. So shout out to him. And then my game ball goes to Fred Johnson. He was absolutely superb in this game. 10 tackles. He had an interception. He looked really good in this game. I think besides a couple missed plays and, obviously a couple great plays by Virginia Tech, defense for the most part played okay. Want to see a little bit of improvement in tackling and stuff like that. But for the most part, they played pretty good in this one. And they held down the fort while the offense struggled. So that's why I give the defense a solid B+. Now, in terms of just talking about the game, Virginia Tech really struggled on third down. They were 6 for 18 in this game. Just got to make it a little bit easier, man. If you see a defensive front getting after you like that, you have to be able to set it up your quarterback where he can make some easy throws, involving the tight ends, screens, just different things to get him in a rhythm early. I felt like Kyron Drones was never in a rhythm, and when he was and they were making plays, they always had a penalty to bring them back, which really hurt them in this game and obviously knocking off South Carolina and pulling off a potential upset. So I think VT is going to be VT. I think they're a team that they'll probably struggle a little bit this year. I don't think they're going to be an ACC contender. I just don't. Can they win 6 games? Sure. But will they be a contender? I don't see it. But they played South Carolina, a team that's expected to take a big step forward in the SEC. They played them pretty tough throughout. And I got to give a shout out to Vakari Swain because that kick return for a touchdown was massive in this game. If he doesn't do that, I don't know what the outcome would have been because they were struggling at that point. Once he got that kickoff return for a touchdown, they forced a punt. And then, boom, 64-yard strike. North Sellers to Nick Harbor for the touchdown. Need to see more of that, obviously, as I've been saying in my tweets. But nonetheless, it was a really outstanding job by the Gamecocks of setting that up, finally getting the offense going. And sometimes you're going to need that. Special teams to step up for you and set that up. That was magnificent. That was a smart job, obviously, by Shane Beamer to make them kick again, and he took full advantage. So, yeah, y'all, that's my overall thoughts, man. South Carolina should be a good team. They got some kinks to work out offensively. Got to be better on the ground. Have to be able to score a little bit more points. Defense played pretty decently well. Only 11 points in this one. But they should be a team that can have some say in the SEC. But they're going to have some tough games coming up. They got LSU, right? They're going to have some tough teams. They're going to have to be on the road. So we'll see if this South Carolina team is for real. Still too early to say. But you'll take the 1-0 any day. And you'll take the, obviously, great start to the regular season, for your program and for your football team of what you ultimately want to accomplish. That's my thoughts. That's my instant reaction. North Sellers did what he was supposed to do, managed the game well, and then turn over the football. That's what you want from your superstar quarterback. And as they've been calling them and comparing them to, Josh Allen. But we'll find out. Comment down below your thoughts on the South Carolina dub.